Hey, my Rec Tec family. Hey, if you've recently purchased or are contemplating purchasing one of the Bullseye carts, or you want to know where we're at when it comes to the powder coat oven and the powder coat booth, stay tuned and watch this video and you'll get the answers to all those questions. Hey, my Rec Tec family, we're back. Hey, if you purchase one of the Bullseye carts, whether it's the standard cart or the competition cart, there really is very little assembly difference. Now, granted, the competition cart does have quite a bit more added to it as far as like the larger wheels. It has the pull-out handle on it. But when you get the cart, all of the pull-out handle, the axles, the front wheels, all that, they are already bolted to it. So the only thing you have to put together is going to be the skins that are on it. It's actually even going to already have the bullhead on it. So on the standard cart, when you get it, it's going to come exactly like this. What you see laying on the table is exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get a fully welded frame that has mesh metal on the top so that you can have a grate on the bottom for putting pellets down there or any other items that you want to store under it. This is going to come already painted with the wheels already attached. So you're not even going to have to bolt the wheels on. The front panel is going to already come. If we have prearranged that you're going to get the bullhead, it'll already come pre-installed. But normally the standard cart only comes with just my logo on the front, or you can get the logo Bullseye decal that we had originally. At least those are going to be an option for a limited time because I only have a limited of those left. But what you see is what you're going to get. You're going to get a back panel, you're going to get the front panel, you're going to get 2 end A-frame panels, you're going to get 3 bags. One bag is going to be marked A. Bag A is so when you take off your factory legs off of your grill, there are going to be 6 holes in the fire pot, the lower part of your fire pot, that are now open because you removed the bolts that held the legs. These bolts are to be used to fill those holes back in so that no hot spark or ash or anything blows out of those holes. That's really all they do. You're going to get a bag marked B. As you notice in the top of the cart, you're going to see that there are 4 holes cut in the top and in the back. Those are there for you to use the drill bit to drill the holes. There are 2 self-tapping screws that are in there that are to run threads into the metal. And then you have stainless steel screws to permanently attach your Bullseye grill to it. And the directions explains how to do that. And then you're going to get bag C, which is basically nothing but all of the 1/4-20 stainless steel bolts that you are going to use to completely assemble your grill or your custom cart or competition cart, whichever one you get. The only thing that you're going to need for a competition cart that you're not going to need for the Bullseye is you're going to need the large crescent wrench, or I believe it's a 3/4 inch nut or wrench to tighten up the axle nut that holds the rear wheels on. Other than that, they're exactly the same. The only tool, and I cannot stress this enough, the only tool you're going to need to assemble this cart is going to be a manual handheld Phillips screwdriver. This is how I recommend and suggest that you put this entire cart together. The reason for that being, this entire cart, over the years, we have tried to come up with a way to make it easier to assemble, less moving parts, and just a much faster process for you to get up and running with your Bullseye. This particular cart that's laying here on the table was probably put together and taken apart by me 4 different times before it got to this stage. And then at this stage, I will assemble this entire cart so that it is just like this cart here. It will be completely put together, ready to go. Then I take it apart, bag it up, and box it up as I'm dismantling it, so that I know that everything went together, all the bolts lined up, everything was perfect, so when you get it, you don't have any issues. Do not use an impact gun. Do not use a screw gun. Do not use anything that generates more force than your hand. Because the reason for that is, if you don't know what a nut zert is, I'll insert a little video right here. But a nut zert is just a collapsible sleeve that has a nut made on one end and a washer made on the other. And it is designed to go through a small hole. Then with the help of an air tool or a hand tool, it collapses it, locks it into the metal, so you no longer have to deal with having a nut or anything like that. If you try to tighten up one of the stainless steel bolts in one of those nut zerts with an impact gun, you run a very high risk of spinning that in the hole, and if that happens, it is a major mess. So that's why I recommend, please, please, please always use just a handheld Phillips screwdriver. I'm going to assemble this one just to show you how fast it goes, how simple it is to do, and also show you up close. As you're assembling this, you should be able to screw these screws into the nut zerts with nothing more than your finger until you get them over halfway in. And at that point, there is no chance that you've cross-threaded it. There's no chance that the bolt is bad or that the nut zert was damaged in shipping. So that's why I recommend that you do it by hand and use just a manual screwdriver. So with that being said, let me stop here. I'm going to move the camera up closer so you can watch me assemble this. All right, when you get this, you're going to notice the frame is completely assembled and the wheels are already on it. If you flip the frame over and look on the bottom of the frame, somewhere on one side or the other, it's going to say front. So that's going to be the side that you're going to mount the front panel. The front panel, it's always going to be the one that has my logo on the front of it. Okay? So the best way to do this is open up bag C, get out all your stainless steel screws, take your front panel, and the easiest way to do this is set the front panel on the floor right in front of the cart. And that way you're not fighting the entire frame, you're not fighting the panel itself and trying to hold it up. Take one of the bolts and then just tilt the front panel back. Stick the bolt through the front hole, line it up on the frame, and screw it in. And like I said, you should be able to screw this in completely with just your fingers. Then while still holding the panel, don't let it seesaw back and forth, hold it up straight. Stick in your other screws along the bottom and screw them in by finger. That way you are absolutely sure you don't have a bad stainless steel bolt, that the nut zert isn't damaged. Because if you can screw it in with your fingers, then it's going in nice and smooth like it's supposed to. Once you have screwed those in almost all the way by hand, you can take the screwdriver and run them in. And remember, this is just a little cart. It's not holding 1,000 pounds. It's only holding your little grill. So all you're really doing is just snugging them up, tightening them down just a little turn. You're not trying to ratchet them in there. When you get your cart, you're going to notice that every bolt hole, you're going to see where your cart was at one time put together here. Before it went into the box, you'll see the little scar from the head of the bolt. And that's just so you know that I put this thing together before it left. So that's your front panel. You're going to spin it around. You're going to do the same thing to your back panel. You're going to turn it around, setting it on the floor. Just raise it up in the air, stick in the front bolt, line it up, just start the bolt in by hand. And like I say, you should be able to screw it in all the way really by just your fingers. Then I usually jump around. I'll go to the back one, put that one in, which helps hold the panel up, and then go along and put the other ones in. You may have to wiggle the panel around a little bit sometimes to get it to screw in smooth. All right, once you screw those in, you can snug them down. All right, so now you have your front and back panel on. Now the easiest way to put your A-frames on is you're going to notice on the back of one of the A-frames, it's going to have the letter A written in there in a silver pencil. Inside the back panel of the cart, on one side or the other, it's going to say A, which means this panel goes on this end. And the absolute easiest way to do this is hold the panel so that you're going for this bottom screw. Line that bottom screw up with the bottom hole on your back panel and just finger screw in your bolt. Now take your hand and pull these two apart and set this right in there where it goes and let the pressure off, and then you can put your bolts along the back. Put all 4 of them in, and like I say, just screw them in by finger. Once those are in but still loose, move to the front. Just screw them in by finger, finger tight. Once you have all 4 screws in, just take your screwdriver, start at the bottom, tighten that one, move your way up the line till you get all of them tight. Do the same thing on the other side. Then spin it around. And you're going to do the same thing to the other side. You're basically just going to hold this like this, take the bottom one, line it up with the bottom hole in the front, screw your nut-zert in, or your bolt into the nut-zert, hold this open again, set this panel up in there, put your bolts in, all 4 of them in the front. As you can well see, I am literally almost screwing these in all the way just with my finger. And then move to the back and do the same thing. The only reason I don't want to time lapse this is because I want you to really get a full feel for just how quick and simple it is to put this cart together, so that when you get it, we don't have any fears that you're not going to be able to do it. It's extremely easy. Takes no time at all. Really, it's going to take you more time mounting your bullseye grill onto it than it does to put the cart together. And there we go. Now you have a fully assembled, ready to go, standard custom cart, ready for you to set your bullseye down in it, drill your 4 holes in the front and the back, put your bolts in it, and you're done. All right, my Rec Tec family, I really hope that this video was informative. I hope it was educational. I hope it alleviated a lot of anxiety that you had. As you can see from the video, it really is as simple as just using a handheld Phillips screwdriver, and you can have the whole cart together in less than 5 minutes. With that being said, a couple other things I wanted to touch base on. One is I've gotten a lot of requests over the last several months of family members that was wondering if I would be interested in building a cart for the Mini or the Trailblazer. Now, I really never thought about building a cart for either one of those two, only because I thought one of the really big main selling points of those 2 grills were the fact that it did have the fold-up leg. So I really didn't think there would be a whole lot of interest in building a cart exclusively for those. But I have been getting a lot of requests for it. So that's another reason why I'm doing this video, is to kind of get some feelers from you guys as to whether it's something. Are there a lot of family members out there that own the Trailblazers and the Minis that they don't want the legs to fold up? They have them on their decks. They're not planning on tailgating or anything. They just mainly bought them because the size was perfect for them. Let me know whether that's something I need to look into or not. Also, In a couple days, I'll be releasing another video, releasing a pre-order for some more of the standard and competition bullseye carts. Please just keep in mind, those carts are not built until you purchase them. So when you purchase them, the very next day I start working on them, and they're usually done in order that they are purchased. So that's why I say on the website, it could take up to 2 weeks before they ship out, because obviously I have to build them. So just keep that in mind when you place the order. I will try to get them out as fast as possible. I have been fortunate in a lot of cases that I got them out with less than a week, but sometimes it does take the whole 2 weeks to do it. You know, this month has been really bad for me. I've had a lot of equipment in the shop go down, and I've been trying to fix those and work on the powder coat oven, and everything is starting to slowly get back up to speed. I really appreciate you guys hanging in there and supporting me while I'm going through this huge change. If you're watching this video and you don't know what Rec Tec is, please take a minute, click this link right here. It will take you to their website where you can view all the products that they have for sale. I promise you, they have something that is in your price range that fits in the space that you need. And I guarantee you, if you do your research and you watch the videos and read the reviews, you will become a Rec Tec family member, because you will see that this is definitely the place where you feel at home. All right? Other than that, thank you guys so much. Click the subscribe and the bell. Ring that bell so that you make sure you get notified and don't miss out on the next order. So many times the day after I have posted the video and the carts have gone up, they are all gone within a couple hours. And I ultimately get someone saying, I thought you were going to post some. And I was like, well, I did post them, but they were sold within 2 hours. So please click that bell so you can make sure you don't miss out on it. And as always, my friends, I love you. God bless you. And as always, smoke like the rest, but roll with the best. I see you, my friends.